That's it. Hello. Erin's putting gloves on today.
Because I'm not touching anything sterile. I'm just
gonna show you.
We're
So,
gonna do some stuff.
We've been talking about prolapses. If you don't know what that means, go back and watch some videos. Today we're going to talk about one of the solutions that you can use for a prolapse, which is called a pessary.
Yes.
And Erin's our pessary expert here, so I'm going to just let her talk for the next 5 minutes.
No pressure. So a pessary is basically an insertable device that you can put into your vagina that will put pressure on the vaginal walls or upwards if it's your uterus that will maintain the organs in a more upward position.
Yeah.
So I laugh and joke and say it's basically like a knee brace for your vagina. Pessaries you can use them for stress urinary incontinence.
Why?
Because basically, if you go back and watch our video, is that if the bladder has changed positions and it's impacting the neck, or you have laxity in the neck of the bladder,
which is the part of the bladder that goes to the urethra.
Yeah, putting pressure on that will make sure that urine's not slipping out with changes in pressure, like laugh, cough, sneeze, jump.
So it's closing the urethra from the vagina.
Exactly. Okay. So it's helping do the things that your tissues are no longer able to do. For prolapse, so when the pelvic organs have descended into the vagina, it basically props the vagina up so that those organs can't descend into the vagina, and then you don't get symptoms of prolapse like heaviness or like feeling like the organ is there. And you can usually empty sometimes your bladder and your bowel a lot better.
Yeah.
So really basic pessaries fall into two basic categories. So we have what are called like space occupying pessaries. So this is an example of a space occupying pessary.
Go close so they can see.
If this one's called the cube, it scares people. This is a bigger size, so don't
They come in a lot of different.
They come in a lot of different shapes and sizes, and that's why I have the kit here today.
Small one.
This is the tiny. There's a tiny cube, and so the other type of pessaries you can put in. And you can actually still continue to have intercourse or insert things into your vagina. Not tampons and stuff like that, obviously, but like if you wanted to have sexual activity, you can wear the non-space occupying pessaries when you do that. The space occupying ones in general, they go in and stay in for a longer time under the care of either a family physician, a nurse practitioner, or a gynecologist. The ones that are not space occupying, oftentimes the goal is for the patient to learn how to insert the pessary themselves.
See how squishy it is?
Yeah. And take them out themselves. So menstrual cups are becoming much more well known, very similar to an insertion of a menstrual cup. And that's why patients who have a bit of a prolapse sometimes feel really good when they have a menstrual cup in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the ones that are not space occupying, the goal is for the patient to be able to put it in and take it out themselves as needed. And again, to Katie's point, I have a card, there's probably 20 different types. And just based on anatomy versus if you're having stress urinary incontinence and have a bit of a prolapse, or if you have 2 prolapses, you'll be fitted for a different pessary based on your symptoms and your presentation.
So Erin,
yes,
do you do this or do you do pelvic floor physiotherapy?
Oh, great question, Katie. I often find patients, if they've done a round of pelvic floor physio before being fitted for a pessary, do very, very well because one, any muscular support that you're going to increase to reinforce the pessary is going to have you have better success with the pessary because those muscles also help support. Mm-hmm. Secondly, you've learned how to manage pressure with pelvic floor physiotherapy. And what I mean by that is that we do certain things throughout our life that put pressure down on the pelvic organs. And so if you haven't learned how to manage that better, it's going to push on the pessary too. And so patients can expulse them or pop them out sometimes. Yeah. And you want to be learning not to do that so that your pessary fits you better and you can use it
super useful.
Better. Yeah.
And then I would say we've got some patients that just use this for activity dependent.
Such a good point. Lots of younger patients may only put it in, and I shouldn't say just younger, I just find in general my younger population likes to put it in for, say, going for a run. They will take it out after the run, or maybe CrossFit, or a heavy, like if they're doing powerlifting or something like that. They know their heavier activities and they only need it for their heavier activities, and then they won't need to wear it day to day.
And that's kind of like where that knee brace example comes in. Like you put your knee brace on when you go for a run, you put your pessary on when you go for a run.
Yeah.
It helps to kind of prevent a lot of pressure coming down.
Yeah.
It keeps their symptoms usually a little bit more mild. They can take it out when they're done, right?
Yes, absolutely. And the last thing I was going to add is that a lot of patients, even when they're awaiting a surgery, find that this is a really good option while they await either their surgical consult or their actual surgery date, because it minimizes their symptoms while they're waiting for
It can be a long wait for surgery right now.
Unfortunately, it's bad right now.
All right, so let's 5 minutes about pessaries.
Yeah.
Thanks, Erin.